All right. Let me share it. So welcome. Anyone's out there? This is Where's George? We're on a Monday, but we missed this last weekend.
It's
Uh
Valentine's Day, guys. Sorry.
Valentine. We had planned to do it on Friday, then we were like, you know what? We'll do a couples one on Saturday. Ain't nobody really feeling that. So, here we are. But nonetheless, you'll still get the same quality content that you get every
Right.
week.
Almost a year. I think we're almost there.
Actually, I have our anniversary as April 16th.
Okay. All
Got that
right.
I don't know how I got that on my calendar. I must have went back and looked at the what's his name,
The
and
first time we did it,
time we did it. So yep, April 16th will be 1 year of Where's George.
we got
So
to do something. We got to do something spectacular that day.
I'm down. We have to make sure we got to start getting some guests too, so we can get this thing rolling. Get some
Yep.
folks in who want to talk.
Yep.
So, anywho, so here we are. Just came off of Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Full of love, and I feel like the go-to meal for Valentine's Day is steak and lobster because that's all I've seen on my timeline is lobster tails and steak. Is that the thing now? Is that what we're doing for Valentine's Day now?
I think it. You know, I think Valentine's Day now is just the most expensive meal you can make or afford. And I mean, you know what? If I've had a lobster tail ever in my life, it may be one time.
Yeah.
But we did have steak, so
And the crazy part about it is lobster tails aren't expensive. Like you can go to Kroger and get one for like $7.
yeah. But at the store, it's $1,000.15.
Yeah. You go to any restaurant, it's that and the steaks too. Like steaks aren't inherently that expensive, but you can go get you like a little ribeye somewhere, it'll cost you at least 30, 40, $50. You go to the
Well,
chain and get a pack of ribeyes for 30, 40, $50. Like
yeah. No, I mean, Valentine's Day is all a money grab.
it is.
It is all a money grab. You go and buy a dozen roses right now, $20. Go buy them right now. Now, 2 days ago, before Valentine's Day, $50.
Yeah.
And a cheap vase to go along with it. Looked like a
So
cup.
that Walmart had, and it surprised me. I had never seen these before. But when you walked in, they had these very beautiful. I don't know if they were like tulips or I don't know, but they were very colorful and fresh looking. And it came with a vase, really nice vase for like $20, $29, 29.95 actually. I was like, yo, this is pretty dope.
Yeah, you better be married if you're buying tulips.
Is that not a thing? You don't get tulips if you're not married.
No, I mean, have I bought tulips for someone for Valentine's Day? Yes, it came with an array of other flowers, but it would have either had to been with a female who was like, I don't really like the traditional flowers type thing. She would have had to qualify that ahead of time. Uh, for me to go that route. So yeah, I think there was something that was circulating years ago about what flowers meant
Okay.
to the point where it was like even the colors of the flowers. And I think that's what has always stuck in my head because it was like, red roses is for love, pink is for, I don't know, passion or some bull crap. White, I think they got white roses. White roses is for something else. All these different colors were for something else. And so it's just like, let's just get roses because that's the one that women want to stunt on their friends with so they can stunt on their friends. And
With the roses.
that's it, with the roses.
I don't know if I think I've probably bought roses maybe once. No, twice. I bought Shay some, but I don't even think they were roses. I think they were no, I bought her a glass blue rose once, our first Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day. But I don't know if anybody else I bought just flowers for. Like for Valentine's Day. I bought them like on other occasions or just because or whatever.
When it's cheaper. Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, because I always thought it was like so cliche because you can't let you. So you have like when you go buy flowers for a woman on things or things. Oh, why I keep thinking Thanksgiving? Like I'm hungry. Valentine's Day. Like it's not like you can go buy them like weeks in advance or days in advance and stuff them somewhere. Like you have to buy them that day or the day before.
Mhm.
And so then you like every other man sitting in there with looking at with a big old balloons and flowers, and then reading all the cards like the day. Like I just feel like it's so disingenuous at that point.
Mhm.
Uh, but I mean, everyone does it because you have to. You can't buy them in advance. So
Right.
I don't know. But do you think women really like the flowers and the teddy bears and the chocolates and like the cliche kind of Valentine's Day stuff?
Women like to stunt on other women.
So
That's
that
what they like. If there was a mass movement for dandelions, they want all dandelions in a bouquet with a nice vase, wrapped up real nice with some balloons. That's just what it is. I firmly believe that. Firmly believe it's all about the image, especially now.
yeah.
You know, so you know.
So
But
you
also those dandelions would have had to be like $60. Can't be no $3 dandelions. Can't be, oh man, I just picked these out of your neighbor who hadn't cut their yards in the past 3 days line. None of that.
Mhm.
So, you know.
Your take on it is for Valentine's Day, at least for some of the more uh I don't know how to say it, like the more physical gift giving is more so just for everybody else. It's like being the peacock. Let me show everyone else what I got. Let me show you what my man did for me.
Yep.
Your man do that for you next time, right?
Right. Do you really love me? Prove your love with these worldly things, these materialistic things.
Did you so has there ever been a situation where you haven't gotten anything? Not because you forgot, you just like, you know what? I don't know if that'll really change the dynamic of this relationship right now if I did that.
I have not been in a situation where I have never gotten anything
Okay.
for someone. I have been in a situation where I have almost forgotten about the holiday in general.
Really?
I have, oh yeah. Well, back in my younger days when I was working, retail, and every day just seemed like the same day, the next day. Um, Luckily I was in big box stores, so it was easy for me to get access to these things.
Hmm.
But yeah, most definitely. I mean, I most definitely have spent entirely too much money for waiting too late, waiting to the last minute. Yes, yes, I have. What about you?
You know what? I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to remember the days when I was like actually in a committed relationship at the time. Um, I don't know if I've actually forgotten. Um, I think my most awkward moments are like when you're just kind of dating and
Uh,
you don't know kind of like how like what level are we at? Like, am I gonna really take you out to some fancy ass restaurant and spend all this money? Yeah, but I'm still talking to you and like three of your friends. Or you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of weird. Like I don't know how that like how do I choose who are you? Um Rhonda. Oh hey, happy belated birthday, Rhonda, by the way.
yes, happy birthday.
Hope
Happy
you have
birthday.
a beautiful day. But yeah, I don't know. I've never had a I've always I don't know. I've been always that guy that's trying to kind of spread things out and try to I don't say downplay Valentine's Day, but maybe making an event out of it for a week or so and different things and try to really not make it so about that day because I don't. It just I just because all the restaurants are crowded and like everything like when we were riding past yesterday like we took Isaiah to his grandfather's house and all of the like your lazy crab or your what's the other
Wild
location
crab.
wild crab and all them places were like
Mhm.
packed and I can't imagine like, oh well, we're gonna go out on this day because this is the day I'm supposed to celebrate. Like, and I don't know if marriage changes that or that's just how if being a serious committed relationship changes that, or maybe you're just dating. Does that change that aspect of it? So I don't know.
Ah, that's a good question. I've been on the wrong side of that too. Once again, if you don't make those reservations, you're ending up at Applebee's. you know, you're ending up at the first come first serve. Now, I don't know how it is in the COVID world, but beforehand, hey, I'm okay with the way it went this year for
Yeah.
sure. Let me put it to you like that. But yeah, I've been on that end in committed relationships and not in a committed relationship. In a not committed relationship, I don't really care. Something small. I'm not gonna go, outrageous or anything. Just hey, you want to go out to eat. You don't have a Valentine's. I don't have one either. That's
Yeah.
the non-committed relationship. Look for that, right? Uh, but it's tough because even pre-COVID, all the restaurants would make you one put in a reservation. Two, they would have a limited menu that they were already taxing you on.
Yep.
You know,
They'll
to,
call it the Valentine's Day special, but it's
right,
really two steaks and a lobster tail for $112, and then you get a glass of wine with it for free.
right, right. And no, you can't make any changes, and we're making the steak well done. You know, so um, yeah, it once again, there's a lot of things COVID has opened my eyes to that I am not looking forward to uh, going back to, and that's one of them. Doing the whole Valentine's Day dinner and eating out and all that other stuff. But then again, I'm married now, so hopefully that won't be an issue. I've got kids. That's my excuse.
And I think that really changes kind of and not necessarily with a being, I guess, not as thoughtful, but I think when you're married and got kids and you're in these long-term committed relationships, like you got to really start thinking outside the box because it can get really old really quick, going to the same damn restaurant, or going to a restaurant, it's crowded, everybody get like it's. And so I think being able to really kind of think on your feet and do something different, every once in a while, because you're married, right? You're still gonna, y'all be married the day before and the day after. Now, they say what the side chicks day is the 15th, so that's a different thing. But,
Salute to all the side chicks that are getting their dinners tonight.
hey, Red Lobster. Look, if you go past Red Lobster tonight, I bet you it's packed because that's just like the home of the side chick on the 15th. And I put this out the other day. Listen here, if your man, if you didn't know you were the side chick, if he was not available this weekend, that just lets you know that you are officially the side chick. That's just what it is.
That's right.
You had Valentine's.
He told the man he went to work today. He got to work the late shift.
Exactly. So just so y'all know, if you were ever guessing where you stood in the relationship, it's if you did not see him this weekend, if he couldn't FaceTime you, if he called you and y'all talked for like 2 seconds and you heard the echo like he was in the bathroom, then
Right.
yeah, that's that's your position in life. So just kind of accept it and keep it moving. So I don't know.
Man, Rhonda said this one restaurant asked her for a deposit, a reservation deposit. I looked at them and said, "You go to hell."
Really? See, and then so I guess so in a way it kind of like all right because people make reservations and they don't show up and you cancel for everybody else, and so I kind of see it, but then I don't know, maybe in this time it's a little bit different because you do have limited spots, but at the end of the day, if you don't fill it, you're gonna have someone there anyway. Like it's not like you're losing out on anything.
Right.
Like
Yeah, I'm sure there are 1.5 million people that just show up,
yeah,
hoping they can find a spot. Going, y'all gonna make your money. You good?
yeah. And then a lot of these restaurants, so like DoorDash was popping that night, because a lot of folks just stayed at home and ordered in.
Mm-hmm.
And and I don't know if I mean obviously it's the COVID thing, but we're in Georgia, so I don't know how really if that really translates to anything. But I've seen a lot of folks in my timeline that cooked and that ordered in. And maybe that's the new wave. Like, you know what, we're gonna kick it at the house or pull off something what we did and just make it, have something kind of. for everybody. But I don't know, man.
No, I mean, I think hopefully, I don't know, there's a lot of things that we do now that I kind of question whether it's because we're of a certain age and, and in a certain bracket of, I'm not going to say, a certain bracket of money, but yeah, I mean, we're willing to spend a little bit more for some of these subtle, um, conveniences. It's nice to just not have to wait in line or wait for a specific time. Well, I mean, I guess we still had to wait for a specific time, but have to be on somebody else's watch, and everything along those lines. So I'm sure that there were restaurants out there that were, okay, are you done? Y'all done? Y'all not order anything else? Okay, you can't sit here. You can't hang out. You can't hang out, right? We had our little dinner. We were able to have the drinks that we wanted to have as many as we wanted to have. I'm enjoying that part of COVID life, and that's just in many aspects. All
you want to go into what we actually did?
Oh yeah, I guess we can.
We can.
So we can. So once again, this is not for it's not for stunt purposes at all. I want people to know that it is. I think we saved money even though it was still expensive when it came down to it. But what we did was we had a group. It was 4 couples. We actually Eugene found a I don't know if you would consider her a caterer.
I think she's an event planner.
Okay, an event planner who had created her own lane kind of during COVID times, essentially, where she saw there was a need. And this is a really big thing for those who are thinking about going into business for themselves. Finding a lane for that people people want and need and can use. And she saw that there was a lane for hibachi. And so she partnered. This lady's an event planner, so she's already one to speak to people, set up, events and things along those lines. And so she partnered with some chefs that will come to your home and do an hibachi style dinner for you. Mm-hmm. And so we had an hibachi style.
What race was she? Is she?
Oh, she was black. She was a black. This is a black-owned business.
I'm the color. Own business.
Right. And it was a positive experience. So that was a that was
late. She was a little late with the setup, but
she was right. She was late for the setup. However, we did not feel rushed. At least I didn't feel rushed. And I believe we had a good time. The entire time. She was very engaging. The chef was moderately engaged and whatnot, but he cooked. I mean, he cooked very well. His meal was excellent. He made accommodations for Eugene, who was on keto, which was a big, a big plus. And it was just a good time. Huh?
It was corn and cauliflower rice. It messed me. I was over there struggling for a little bit.
There was corn in it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you? I thought you bought it. You didn't buy it. He bought it.
No, he bought it and chefed it up. But he with the mixed vegetables, he put peas and corn and mixed it in there with the rice.
Hey man, you gotta be more specific, man.
I seen him putting it in there. I was like, shit, like this is gonna really jack me up. So for like the first 15, 20 minutes after we started eating, I was over there struggling. I was trying to be quiet, my stomach over there in knots.
So, but I mean, overall, it was a great experience. Once again, we were able to bring our own drinks. She did provide drinks, just non-alcoholic drinks, things along those lines. And she had she had a lot of different add-ons that we could have partaken in, right? So we could have asked for someone to come and play music. We could have asked her to provide the music. We could have asked for, I guess, a number of things, but she set up our area very nicely. Very kind of Japanese steakhouse-esque, and everything. And once again, meal was great. I mean, it was just a positive experience. And so we will. I think we owe her the opportunity to put her probably her stuff on the website if people want to partake and whatnot. And I mean, once again, it was a great experience, and I would most definitely do it again, even if it wasn't a Valentine's Day uh, deal. So,
Yeah, she
anything
was.
else that anything I missed on that?
No, she was good. She held it down. As you said, I think the chef. I don't know if he was just nervous or maybe he was just like, you know what, they're sitting there talking, enjoying themselves. I'm just gonna kind of be background noise or whatever. So, but outside of that, it was perfect. We originally supposed to do it outside on my porch, on in my backyard, and but the weather would not permit. So, a good thing is that we had a friend who just bought a house that was empty, and it was perfect because had we done it in my house, it would have been tight. Um, so it just kind of all worked out the way it should have worked out. But no, it was great. It was a good experience. I think the women folk enjoyed it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a way to really, again, do something different within these COVID times. We all been trying to some degree, stay kind of, um, I guess, separate but equal. Is that, can I say that without being like racist? Separate but equal.
It's a little Jim Crowy, but it's okay.
Socially distant, right? And so, good thing is like our circle, most of us have been withholding to that. And so, there weren't necessarily too many concerns. And so, but everyone got tested before. And so we were able to really just kind of navigate and enjoy the atmosphere. So, no, it was great. It all worked out. Definitely will partake in something like that in the future. Uh,
Mhm.
this whole I had a my barber actually, he for his wife's, I think it was her 50th birthday, he had a personal chef come in 2 nights, so Friday and Saturday night, come in and cook for the entire family because it's him and his wife, and they got one, two, three, four children, maybe five, no, four children. So yeah, he came in and cooked for him, and it was the whole thing. And so I used to think like having a personal chef was like that kind of that bougie esque type. Oh no, coming in doing that, but it's really not that bad. One, and then when you're able to divide it out amongst other people in the group, then it's definitely not that bad. And then when you
Mhm.
add in the convenience factor, it's someone coming to your house. You can watch them make it, so it ain't like shit falling on the floor. They kind of kiss it up the guy to make it work, and then don't make that deal. So it's that along with just anything else. It's just the camaraderie of not having to go out, coordinate times, or we got reservations at 8, so everyone's got to be here at 7:55. And then if you got like a Tashawn in your group, and then you're sitting there waiting till 8:55 because something always happens, and so they're gonna be late. So it's kind of like it makes it easier. So when you add in all those other different factors, it's not bad. It's actually fairly inexpensive in comparison to. Now, is it something on a regular basis? No. I mean, if that's your lane, then by all means, DJ Khaled has his own chef that comes in every day. So if you got DJ Khaled money, then you do what
Right,
DJ does. So
right.
it was a good experience nonetheless. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So there was a question that was posed. Um, I know when I went and got my hair cut, my barber asked me. He asked me, have you ever in your lifetime received on Valentine's Day in particular? So let's qualify that. On Valentine's Day, the same or equal amount of effort in gift giving, whether it's the chocolates, the flowers, the bears, the balloons, all this other stuff, as your woman? And I said with a resounding no. And everybody in the barbershop said no. So what what about you? Have you ever had that one? Maybe she's the one right now. Maybe that's Shay.
Oh man.
Have
Uh,
you ever have you ever had the equal but separate
gift giving.
gift giving?
Um, so I will answer that with so my love language. So everyone has never done the little love language thing. You should probably do it and understand how and why you love or whatever. So gift giving is or gift getting or receiving is the lowest on my level. So I'm not big on getting gifts at all. And so any relationship I've been in, they know that it's just that's not how I operate. And so birthdays, Christmases, all that stuff, I'm really just don't get me anything. I'll buy it myself if I want it, whatever. Now, that doesn't mean if there's something that you see that can be thoughtful or then you think, oh man, you know what, that'll be great. You know, something I wouldn't have thought about, fine. But so I preface that by saying no. But I will say that there's women that I've dated and maybe they didn't necessarily know that about me. And come I can't want to say Thanksgiving. Come Valentine's Day, it was a whirlwind of effort on my end. And I got you a Google Chrome that I got for free at work because I just started this job at Google here. And it was like, okay. I appreciate it. Thank you. I guess that's how that works. But no, I think it's I think Valentine's Day has always been, and maybe it just always will be, because we have this conversation every year, and it's does it change? Does the narrative change? Does the lane change? Will it always kind of like how does that look going forward? Will it ever be an equal partnership kind of day? I don't think it is. I think it's a woman's holiday or a day for them for men to for that day to show their appreciation and love. Now, some will argue, well, men need love too, and we need to be able to show them that love as well. So I don't know if that'll ever be a thing, but I mean, it's never been a thing for me. But generally, especially if you're in a committed relationship or marriage, it's a one-sided street, and then you have sex that night, and then that's kind of what it is. You get the same, vagina that you got the day before that you're gonna get the next day, next week, or I don't know if you're married. Depending on your marriage, you may get it next month. I don't know how y'all operate, but that's generally kind of how that thought process works. So I don't know. You're on the spotlight. So what would you say to that?
I already said no. My wife is on here, and she already knows it's not equal. And so, I agree with you. I think it is much more of a ladies' holiday, more than anything. I think you know I think effort is a big thing also. So I think a lot of guys would say, okay, I got something,
Yeah.
I'm happy. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to say, oh man, Eugene, uh, Rachel just bought me some flowers. What you get?
You gonna have them posted all up on your IG or
Right.
your Facebook?
No. I'm not about to do any of that. I'm not about to have, no. So, once again, I think how Valentine's Day is a money grab. I grew up poor, so I didn't get a lot of gifts anyways. So now when I get gifts, it's just like, oh man, that's cool, So I don't know about all my love language stuff like you were talking
Yeah.
about. But I'm much more of the experience type person, anyways. So our little private dinner setting, things like that. That's awesome to me, right? I paid for it, and that's what I was gifting portion of my gift to my wife,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm much more into that, not necessarily into the gifts also. And my wife already knows, if you give me anything too nice, I'm not going to wear it or use it because, I never had anything. So I just hoard it. I order it until I go out to that one time where it's a nice, where, it warrants the one nice thing, and then it goes back into the box and it goes back into into a drawer or under something.
Watch type of event. Let me break that out.
Yeah, that's it. Sprat watch is still on my dresser to this day because it's like, what? I mean, where am I going to go? I haven't gone anywhere that will warrant that.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, so so yeah, man. It's most definitely one of these holidays where everything is overpriced. It's bad as having a child or getting married because everything has a special price. And I want to say, what she? I want to say, double I. Oh Lord. Anyways, um, but it's a good time.
Yeah.
And having kids, even though our kids kind of ditched us this time around, it was nice because we tried to do something nice for them, and I guess they were okay with it. But
Yeah, how'd that brunch turn out? I seen you, yeah, you savory. You had a little savory butcher side over there.
yeah, I had that bacon on there, from the savory butcher. And then so I picked up that French toast casserole. I made that. And
Is
that
that what it was? I thought it was like a cherry pie. It was a French toast.
strawberry.
Okay.
Mhm. And so it was nowhere near keto. If you would have smelled that, you would have just thrown up. But since we had eaten, rice the day before, there was no reason to go back that day. So, but I got that off Tasty, and
Really?
dude, it was awesome. And I'm a big syrup guy, and I usually put syrup on anything that has to do with bread and breakfast, minus biscuits. And it was good enough where it wasn't so sweet, too sweet, but it was just sweet enough where you didn't need to have any extra syrup.
Wow.
So,
I didn't know you were a baker either.
yeah, man. So cooking in general, I don't do it a lot. I do it probably more now, obviously during COVID times.
Yeah.
But it's always been the thing where I have been the most creative because I am very analytical opposed to creative. And so cooking in general has always been that kind of outlet for me. Right.
Okay.
And I do have a big thing with baking. The thing about baking is dedicating the time
Yeah.
and then like monitoring, right? And so I don't always have that time, so that I do that even less. And so that's why you hear me talk about grilling a lot and everything along those lines because it's a little less, hands-on and monitoring necessity when it comes to that. So yeah.
Kind of set it and forget it at some points.
Yep. Yep. I know I'm gonna have 30 minutes or 20 minutes before I need to check on a pork chop, or maybe it's gonna be really quick with some burgers and some dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Let me ask you this then. So if we are conceding that Valentine's Day is a day for women, and so has there ever been an opportunity or time where you put in a lot of effort and you just didn't get anything in return? Like nothing.
I'm sure I have way back when. I mean, I don't know. I'm one of these people that you know, one of my big pet peeves. I don't know if I've said it on this show or not. Is eating alone, or eating dinner alone. Let me qualify that because I can eat lunch by myself, but I don't like to eat dinner alone, just in general.
Like going out to eat dinner alone, or
just in general. Like we could be at the house. Like even when I had roommates, I would go out. I would typically go out, around where they were and eat with them. Even if they weren't eating, just literally sitting down eating by myself for dinner is tough for me. And I travel for work, so it's even tougher. So usually when I'm traveling for work, like I eat very late because I'm just agonizing over what I want to get, and then getting it, and then trying to figure out, am I going to sit down at a bar? Am I going to sit down, just at a restaurant, or am I going to take it back to my hotel? And so I eat late, and usually because I eat late, I have very limited options. So I'm usually fast fooding it or something along those lines, which, uh, you know, just I don't know. I don't know why my kind of, it's not really an anxiety thing, but it's just always been a thing where I don't like to eat alone
yeah.
for dinner. And so I mean, so have I taken people out and given them more than what they should have had based on where our relationship was at the time? Yes,
Yeah.
I've probably done that once or twice uh, when I was much younger. Um, but I mean, what am I supposed to expect on Valentine's Day
So
besides the usual yams, right?
you're gonna throw that ass in a circle. You're
That's
gonna throw it back
that's
at
it. That's it. That's it. Maybe you're asking, have I taken someone out and not had that at the end? Yes, I've done that. That's happened before. But once again,
me.
it's all based on the level of the relationship. I'm not a pressure guy when it comes to that. Nope.
Really? Now that's interesting. I can't say I don't think I can't say that. Yeah.
Yep. I've done it. It's happened. It has happened. So
We'll leave it there. I'll
I was about to say, what about you? But then you're like, nope, nope, not
Nah,
gonna be
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever now I've not like gone out on Valentine's Day or not had, someone worth whatever to make an effort for that particular day or weekend, whatever. So
right.
obviously that ended in nothing, but I can't think of a person I was dealing with that we did something that day and I didn't come home and wasn't able to unwrap the
Unwrap your gift. Gotcha.
maybe Valentine's Day it's a different type of wrapping, so they generally have outfits or whatever the case may be. So, but yeah, I can't think of that would be. I don't know. I think I would rather just like. I don't. I think I would rather you. I don't know. That'd be weird. I would think to like you didn't get me no chocolates, no bear, no balloon, and I don't get no ass either. I
Well, I
think that,
mean, hey, if it's one of those where y'all have only been talking for a little bit, sometimes people. Touche, touche. I get it. Okay, all right. I'll just leave it at that. Just leave it right there. I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, I think women. So I would say that as if a woman now, unless you're just that type that does the whole going out to get something to eat, you want somebody to take you out, and so you can Snapchat it, or I don't know if people use Snapchat these days, but Instagram it or Facebook it for your friends, and oh look where I went, I'm at some 5-star whatever. Unless your intentions is just for the gram, I think most women, unless you're in a relationship where you know that sex is not a thing until you get married or whatever, or there's other physical um, things that may prohibit it. I think it's kind of like they know, like, all right, I'm about to get chocolates and I'm about to get jewelry or I'm about to get balloons and flowers. Let me go ahead and go and pick up this little nurse's outfit real quick so I can throw it back at them. I think that's kind of, and I could be wrong. I mean, we got a few women that's watching, listening. Y'all probably won't say anything because y'all are married. So I hope y'all threw it back sometime that weekend. It may not have been that night, but one of them days. But I think that's kind of like a I don't know. I wouldn't say expectation, but like what? Hey, he did something. He went out, showed me he loved him. Let me do a little something extra that I may not do the other days of the year. Maybe let me raise my freak flag, maybe half staff today.
Go ahead and put some Bengay on them knees. Limber, get a good stretch in beforehand. Yeah.
What? I've been hearing that. I've been watching that, hearing them watch that Bust It Down challenge. Let me go ahead and get that a whirl for him real quick so I can remind him of what my knees were like 20 years ago. So maybe that's what. But nah, it's a I don't know. It's a you like I said, you hear men every year talk about it. For clearly for the both of us, it really don't make me never mind. I would personally prefer not to get a bunch of stuff. But if you get something, let it be something. I'm always like any gift for me is like let it be meaningful. don't go out that day and go get a card and sign it. Don't go and like, oh, I'm gonna go pick up something. Like, have something that's useful for me. If you know
Hmm.
I'm keto, give me a bag of keto popcorn or some shit that I wouldn't have thought about. Uh,
Hmm.
or something that's just really kind of shows that you're in tune to who I am and my needs and wants. And so, because for the most part, just like you, like I grew up with very little means, and so now I'm to the point where if I want it, I just buy it, or I get it myself because I'm not gonna wait on somebody else to do it because it's just it's like, oh shit, I ain't the George Jefferson yet, I'm not Deshaun and Nicole Howe, but we're doing all right for ourselves, and so it's a different situation. But yeah, I
So, okay, sorry.
no, you good.
Okay, well, I was just gonna ask about what do you think about the maybe it's not a trend now, maybe it was a trend back then too. But what do you think about all these un-Valentine's Day party people? I don't have many of those people because I guess a lot of people on my timeline are either married or something along those lines. But I still hear about the Lonely Hearts dinners or some shit like that. Uh, the
Valentines.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think I would say it almost kind of reinforces like this day and this importance in our society, right? And so, not to say that it's not important, but I think the emphasis of it, because it is a money grab, it is a way for these companies to go and take and exploit the hell out of so, and even with social media. So, I was listening to radio earlier. They were talking about how whatever restaurant this guy went to, he was like they had all the couples on one side, and then he had like the group of 10 on the other side, or all the single people on the other side, and this and that. And so, I think it's a way for some people to really still feel included,
Hmm.
even though I mean the idea of it is me or people in a relationship or dating or married or whatever expressing using that day to express love for one another, right?
Hmm.
And so to have a alternative, a Bros Day or Galentine or whatever the hell you want to call it, like it's almost like I wouldn't say counterintuitive, but it's like really not your day in a sense. Like enjoy who you are, enjoy the situation that you're in. Maybe you're single for a reason. Maybe you just got out of a situationship. I don't know what your causality for singleness is, but enjoy being single. Don't necessarily go out and take up all the reservations for people who want that show of gratitude or love for their loved one. Stay
Hmm.
home. Like, or do whatever you would normally do. If you would normally go out if Valentine's Day is on a Saturday, you would normally go out on a restaurant on a Saturday, then fine. Keep up those type of normalities. But I don't know. I would say don't do nothing extra. I mean, because you're trying to show the world that I'm not bitter about being single for the 14th Valentine's Day in a row. 'Cause whatever. So I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think we'll have the same conversation or a similar conversation during Mother's Day and Father's Day, obviously, or not Mother's Day on Father's Day. But I mean, I think it's do you, hey, uh, I guess with my renewed goal of increasing my community, I would say it's a good thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah, when you're single and you see all these people out and they're having fun together and this, that, and the other, it can be lonely for some people. And so it's okay to be with other lonely people. I think it just becomes destructive when, it becomes kind of like that bitch fest where, oh man, now we got to reminisce about old past people and loves and things along those lines. Nah, man, if you're going to do it, just do it.
Let's do it.
Enjoy the time with the people that you're around, and things like along those lines, or just be around people, right? Just do something, and that's fine. You know, whether or not you want to go out and spend all the extra money just because this day red is more expensive than all the other colors, I don't
Yeah.
know. But I mean, I don't have a big deal, a big issue with it or anything like that. Now, when it comes down to Father's Day and we start talking about that again, then we'll talk about that.
Let me ask you this then. So as we looking to wrap things up, I got hit this meeting here in a little bit. But as y'all can't tell, I'm still at work, so that's why you see all I don't have a blue like wall in my house. I'm not a Sigma, so I don't want y'all there. I'm still at work. I work at Walmart. That's our color, right? But
But you did have what colors at an Alpha's house?
hey, it was purple and gold all day long, and that's because you know what? He didn't want to plan it. So next event, he can plan it, and he can have whatever colors he wants. But let me ask you this question. So all year round, and I put something up about this earlier. I wouldn't say all year round, but you have those. We all have those very strong, independent women that don't need a man for nothing on our timelines. It's always, well, I'm gonna do this. I can do bad all by myself. And then on Valentine's Day, they really kind of quiet, or they're the ones that's hosting. You know what? I'm having a Valentine's Day brunch, breakfast, lunch, brunch, dinner, whatever, because I don't want to see all these other people happy. You know, is there a point to where a woman or a man can be too independent in the sense that, you know what, it's okay to want love and to experience love and to have a relationship and not necessarily trample on your idealism of how do you set up for your own life, I guess.
So can you be too independent to rephrase it? Maybe that's it.
Can you be too independent that love or relationships are gonna be hard for you to come by? Like,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I think one of our earlier we should probably dig up one of those. I think that was one of our really first um, kind of topics that we had that was away from politics and things along those lines. I think it went over really well. Yeah, you can be too independent. The if you are so independent that you don't need anyone, and a relationship is meant to be a partnership, which means you should work with someone else, then then I mean that's counterintuitive, right? Like I understand, carrying your own weight. I understand being really strong at some things while your partner being strong at other things that you may not be, so kind of keen about, and all those things. But absolutely, I hope, and unfortunately, I will go back to women because I hear very few guys talking about I'm a strong, independent man. I don't need no woman. But if there are some out there, then this applies to you too. Don't let you being strong and independent and not needing anyone in your mindset leave you old and lonely, because that's typically how it ends, right? You don't need anybody to the point where people don't need you anymore, and that's a sad place to be. Because I think we are here on this earth to at least be with someone. And I understand some people may not feel that way, but I think we are meant to find a mate of some sort, um, and to have that mindset. And I think that probably is a good probably segue to maybe a conversation next week, um, about how you view partners and how you view someone, even if you're at a particular status. We talked about, was it Kevin Samuels and the way he kind of talks to women and things along those lines. And I think there's some validity in some of the things that he says, and then there's some things that I wish he would kind of just pull back the reins just a little bit. And so yeah, I mean, so women, men, other, whoever, uh, you know, if you're wanting to be in a relationship, there should never be a point in a relationship where I don't need you. I mean, if you don't need them, then what's the point of even, what's the point of even trying out, right? That's what a relationship is, in my opinion. It's a tryout. And once you get to that point where you're done trying out, and or when you're done and you really want to try someone out, then maybe you should rethink about your strategy from there.
No, I'm with you, man. I think there's a lot of women out there who get too caught up in the definition of independence and understanding that being an adult and being independent are two different things, right? Paying bills, having a place to live, putting food on your table, that's being an adult. Independent is being able to navigate life and whatever independently.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, if you're a Christian, you should believe that, God seen Adam and Adam was lonely, and so he made Eve from her, right? And so he meant us to be with somebody. And I think you have a lot of women out there who are just, I wouldn't say bitter, maybe jaded, maybe haven't had the best relationships, maybe haven't had the best interaction with men of any race, color, creed, or whatever. And so they've taken that stance and say, you know what, I can do this on my own. I can be an adult, but I'm still, and it's okay not to be happy. It's okay to this is your 15th Valentine's Day alone and to be saddened by that, because there's nothing wrong with having those emotions and wanting to be a part of an event. Now, you don't have to downplay it. You don't have to make it seem like, oh man, and make it I guess yeah, downplay it. Don't, it's a day of expression of love, and you don't have that person. Don't take the joy from everybody else that wants to do that as well. you know be a little bit more independent in the sense of your thought process, and really, all right, what am I doing? What can I do differently? Where have I been? Why am I here for the 15th time in a row? Like, do some self evaluation, and then you can whatever. But we don't want to turn this into another Kevin Samuel, or I guess we could. That actually be interesting. And we just, talk about high value men and women, and kind of what that looks like. I think that'd be a great topic for our next one.
I value men and women from a low value standpoint.
Like, what does the average man Joe think of what a high value man, and what they would? Yeah, we should talk about that.
Hey, maybe next time.
Anywho, well, some of us got to get back to work. George has got to go eat something, I'm sure. Or
No, I've already no studying time today.
oh,
Legit.
taken away from his studies. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up, and hopefully y'all will join us next time. And
Are we gonna do another one this week? Is
we
that the
should.
plan?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can do that.
We got to catch up since we missed last.
Yeah, yeah. Regular scheduled programming. This was just a delayed because the events, but we'll keep it moving.
Post Valentine's special.
Post Valentine special.
There
So,
we go.
is that the food here? Oh, we ordered.
Oh Lord. All right.
Oh yeah, it's about to go down. Wipe the barbecue sauce off. But all right, let me.
All right, folks. We'll see you all next or later on this week.
All right, y'all take care, and good night.
Bring a friend.
Bring three. All right.